Hi, I just wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you about myself. My name is Kurt Johnson. I live in Poland and I've got a wife and four children. If you look across the way here, you'll see a picture of us last year at Niagara Falls. And the big tall boy is my son Kurt Jr. Next to him on his right is my daughter Kimberly. She's the youngest. Lucas is to his left, and my wife Karen is next to Lucas, and then all the way over to the left there in the picture, or right, would be Zachary. And they're all very involved in sports, and life is pretty busy for us right now. Um, the background as far as our family goes, we moved up from New Jersey 14 years ago, and my dad was ill at the time and wanted to be close to take care of him. Um, my first job when I was up here was working over at a marina on Sebago Lake, and I ran the store for 4 years over there, and then went down to the service department, ran the service department, ended up moving over to Richardson's Boatyard to work there for a little while, and in that time frame, um, my first boss actually came in one day and said to me, "I got a big radon problem," and I had no clue what radon was. So he explained to me that colorless, odorless gas, and that it was a real danger, and he suggested that I test my house. So for me, that was new knowledge. I didn't know anything about it. Previously, I had spent some time down in New Jersey selling some air filters, but at that point in time, I was really only aware of particulates being an issue and some gases, but I had never heard of radon. So tested our house in Gray at the time, and we got a reading of 14 and a half, and the level of 4 is where they said it was below that was safe, and that to me was a concern. So when we were buying our next house, the house we have in Poland, and we went around looking at how are we going to build this house, how are we going to do it, we actually looked at the modulars and looked at Canadian modulars, and part of the process they explained to me that this house came in with a air exchange system, and that was my first exposure to what an air exchange system was. And having it explained to me at that point, and them telling me it takes the polluted air, gets rid of it, brings in fresh air, I said, boy, that's a really good idea, especially since we got this stuff coming out of the ground called radon. And so when we were building the house, that for me was a big factor in getting that house. And actually, I wanted them to put 6 mil vapor barrier underneath the foundation, and the excavation guys didn't do that. So, but I was kind of reassured because I said, hey, at least I got this evacuation system in the house. So we've been in that house for 8 years, and we'd been in the house for about 3.5, 4 years, and a situation happened where I ended up going back up to where we bought the house up in Oxford, and in a conversation with the owner, I ended up applying for a sales job, and ended up selling the same homes I lived in for 2.5 years. And I always explain to my customers the benefits of having that system in the house, um, and my experience with a very active family, and what it does for us. When the housing market took a crash, um, sales dropped, and I was let go. And I had thought about a year before that. I said, these air exchange systems. Um, our experience was that the people that were installing them mostly weren't really doing a very good job, and I would get complaints from my customers, and just talking with people. It was really known as that they were in the houses, but they really weren't explained well. People didn't understand exactly how to use them, what they did, and I saw it as a big problem, and for me, an opportunity. So when I got let go, I went and I tried to contact some of the companies. Took a little while, and I wanted to get trained. I wanted to find out, okay, what does it take to be able to design and install these systems? So I ended up tracking down the Canadian firm up there that actually does the training. If you go across the border, not only was I told that 99% of the houses have air exchange systems in them. But if you're going to install the systems, you had to go through a certification process and be certified and keep that certification current. So I decided to go up there and take that training and go through that course because I wanted to be a professional. I wanted to know what I was doing, make sure what I did was done right. And so that was about 3.5 years ago. And I've spent the last 3.5 years basically being a sponge, learning all about the problems, the solutions, and installing systems, getting people's houses to be healthier. So that's a little bit about my background.